Yeah, I'll record it and then I'll send it across.
Yes.
Yeah, so we are recording now. So I'll start again on how do we create the rooms. So I'll share my screen with you. Now please note that the room creation is available only on Zoom Primer, which is the Zoom, the main Zoom, the Zoom paid licenses. If you're using the free license, you will not be able to create rooms. And in that case, you will have to go by the idea of having multiple meetings. I'm sorry, just give me a second, please. Are you able to see the Zoom screen? You're not able to see the Zoom screen, right?
We are able to. Side view.
Okay, let me know what you're seeing. Are you seeing my desktop or are you seeing the Zoom screen?
We are seeing the desktop.
You're seeing the desktop, so that's what I'm seeing. So I'll do one thing. Hold on. I'll take a screenshot so that I can show it to you.
We are unable to see your video, but.
Yeah, I've stopped my video. I've knowingly stopped my video. Okay. So if you have logged in with your host ID, this is how the Zoom screen will look to you. Right? I hope everyone is able to see this, right? Yes, no, maybe?
Yes.
Now here, if you go to the below, you'll get the option of recording one. And because the recording is on right now, you'll have to click on more. When you click on more, you will see the option to create new rooms. You'll get an option something like this. Right? Are you able to see this?
Yes.
Yeah, so I've created two rooms already. One is the holding area, the other is the briefing room. So you can create up to, I guess, 5 rooms with one Zoom license. And the holding area will be for holding the contestants during the table topic speech. The briefing room is for the chief judge to do the judge's briefing. And here you see an option called assign. Now, when you click on assign, and then let's say, for example, I want to put Dr. Kiran into the room, I can click and then I can say add. I think she has already been assigned to this room. Right. So now Dr. Kiran is in a different room altogether. So this is one way of doing it. The other way of doing it is you can always set up 2 different meetings at 2 different times. So let's say your contest starts at 10 a.m. in the morning. The judge's briefing will start probably around 9 a.m. in the morning. So you can set up 2 meetings, one for 9 a.m. and give it to the chief judge. And you can set up another meeting for 10 a.m. where everybody can join. So 2 different ways of handling it. You can decide which way you want to handle. Now, once you have assigned people the room, they will essentially be present in that room until you bring them back into this room, right? So this is how you handle the anonymity part of it, both for the judges as well as for the contestants. And people in different room will not be able to hear what is going on inside this meeting, or people in this meeting will not be able to hear what is going on in other rooms. So that anonymity part is maintained. Is there another way? If you don't have the option to create rooms, if you are using a free license, is there a way to handle the table topic contest? The answer is yes. And the way you do that is when you set up the meeting, you get an option where it says ask host to allow participants into the meeting. So if I enable that option, what will happen is people cannot directly join the meeting. The moment people join the meeting, they'll see a message called said somebody in the meeting will let you in. And then you basically choose whom you want to let in. So if let's say there are 6 contestants, you can disconnect all the 6 contestants from the meeting and ask them to join again. And then you can one by one in the speaking order, allow them to come into the meeting. The other time they'll have to sit out in the waiting area. Once the speaking order is over, they can stay in the meeting, no problem. So I hope it is clear as far as how to handle the table topic contest is. Yes, Kiran ma'am.
Then if you are outside waiting area, you cannot access, I mean, they can access the phones and through the friends, they'll be able to reach out.
If they're, yes, so that is yes, that is a very genuine challenge that we have right now, is how do you control phones. So like that's the reason I said you preferably want to use a Zoom paid license, and that is the alternative. If you do not have a Zoom paid license, so you don't want to invest into a paid license and you want to do it in the free license, although the district has already invested, Yogesh will be able to help you out with booking your rooms in the district Zoom subscription, so that you can still use the paid licenses. So my suggestion is go with the holding area concept, because in the holding area you can assign a sergeant at arms and you can ask everybody to switch on their videos, make sure that their hands are visible so that the sergeant at arms can monitor if they are using their phones or not. So we'll come to the monitoring part of it. But before that, so this is how you manage the contestants and the judges briefing. What about the role player briefing? Well, role player briefing can happen in the same room. It is nothing anonymous. Everybody knows who the role players are. So you can either do it in the same room, or you can ask the role players to join 5 minutes before or 10 minutes before and do the briefing. Contestant briefing again can happen in the same room. You can do it in front of everybody. You can do it 15 minutes before. That is completely your call. But you don't need to create different rooms for that. These are non-anonymous briefings. They can happen in the same room. Am I clear about that? Right.
Yes.
Wonderful. Now coming to the next part of how you transition, and this is where a tech master will come into play. The tech master essentially is the host or the co-host of the meeting. Make sure you have a host and a co-host. Do not keep one single point of failure. And the reason for that is we are seeing network issues in India right now due to a lot of people working from home. There is a fair chance that your tech master might have a power shutdown, a modem reboot, or a network failure, and he may not be available. So always keep a host and a co-host in your contests. Remember, this is a contest. It has to be seamless. So never keep one single point of failure. A co-host and a co-host, 2 timers, 2 sergeant at arms, if needed, maybe 3 sergeant at arms. Online meetings have actually helped us in a way that a lot of people, because there is no physical travel involved, can still get involved in the meeting. So please feel free to ask for role players from across the district. Somebody sitting in Kolkata can also be your timer, because this is an online meeting. He is not needing to travel to Greater Noida to attend your contest. One is you're giving them a feel of what your contest looks like, and 2 is you're getting more role players. So publicity for the contest becomes a very important part. A lot of times, and especially in the corporate clubs and the institutional clubs, contests are a very closed door affair where they keep things very limited to their set of members only. They don't publicize it. I have never seen many corporate clubs putting a flyer or a poster on to District 41 saying we are doing this contest on this day. Do not do this now. Publicize your contest, because people will want to join in from different areas, and they joining in from different areas will help you in having backup role players. In case there is a failure and your timer is not able to show the card, or your tech master is not able to allow the contestant, you should have backups in your hand. I cannot stress more on the importance of having backup. We have someone who's joined by the name iPhone. May I request you to please rename yourself?
Amit
Sure, I will
can you?
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So publicity is a must at this point in time. That's another takeaway, and that's probably for people from the EC. The VPPR needs to work on it. The VPPR needs to make sure that there is enough publicity happening. The second thing that I wanted to highlight is the necessity of backup role players, because this is an online meeting. Things can go wrong, technology can go wrong. So make sure you have enough backups in your hand, not a single point of failure, right? The third question which has come up, and a lot of people have asked this, is how do you manage timer cards in these kind of meetings? You in a regular meeting, I've seen a lot of clubs doing this. The timer goes on unmute and says green, yellow, red. That could be a break fix, but that is not an ideal way to do it in a contest. And the simple reason for that is you cannot disturb the contestant while the contestant is speaking. So there are a lot of images like this, which is available online. You can download them. You can ask the timer to download these images. And whenever, so let's say it's a ISE, it is 5 to 7 minutes. At 5 minutes, the timer can just show the green card, right? Simple. It doesn't have to say anything or speak anything. It'll just show the green card on the screen. That's it. And here, the other thing that you want to do is for the first maybe 30 seconds or 20 seconds, you want the tech master to spotlight the timer so that the speaker notices the time. Otherwise, in a grid view, the speaker may not be able to notice it. Because if you look at the way your screen looks, it will look something like this, right? And if the timer is sitting somewhere here in this corner and is showing a green card, the speaker may not be able to notice it. So there is an option called spotlight the speaker, and you can decide who you want to spotlight. For example, if I now spotlight the video of Kiran ma'am and I take a snapshot, this is what you will see, right? So the moment the timing card is on, for all the other time, you can spotlight the actual contestant. And the moment the timing card is on, you can bring the timer on spotlight. So it is very, very visible what the timer is sharing. And the moment that the speaker sees the green card, then it is fine. You can switch back after 10 seconds or 15 seconds. You can switch back the spotlight to the speaker again. Are we clear?
I have a question.
Yes, Vivek.
Yes.
Do the users also having the right to spotlight?
Can you be a little louder? Sorry, your voice is very low.
Hello, is it audible now?
Better.
My question is that you are hosting this conference. So do you have everybody has the same rights that as a user can I spotlight the other person also, or it is the rights with the hosting person also?
Yeah, either the host or the co-host. Not every user.
Not every user. Okay.
Not every user gets that option. Either the host or the co-host can do it.
Okay, that means we have to request to the host.
Yes.
Yes.
One question.
Yeah.
The timer can share the screen then?
Yes. Screen sharing can be done by every user. Screen sharing is not limited to the host or the co-host only. Spotlighting the speaker is limited to the host and the co-host.
Okay. Because I'm asking is during the speech, the timer can do the screen sharing or just holds the cards? How to go about that?
Either ways, if you want to do it this way, that you start the video and you show the card like this, you can do that also, right? Or if you want to do the screen share, you can do the screen share. It is fine either ways, right? But the only thing which is not fine is interrupting the speaker. So you cannot say green, yellow, red.
Yes.
Right? So that cannot be done. If you can either show the card, but then when you show the card, you make sure that your card is facing the camera, not your face. So that is again something that you'll have to take care in the timer's briefing. A lot of time, I have personally seen this in some of the meetings where the timer has switched on the video and is showing the card like this. Now the problem is I'm still seeing the timer phase. I probably will still not see the card. So if we are going that route, it has to be like this.
Okay.
Right? I'm not saying the timer has a bad face. I'm just saying it's the need of the hour. He can show his face later. Right? Okay. Now coming to the request, the host is okay. That's extremely important. Thank you so much, Khushbu. Now coming to the next bit, which is so we are clear about timing. I think we are clear about judges briefing. We are clear about contestant briefing. How do you do the transitions during the contest? So can somebody, and I hate lectures, so can somebody tell me the flow of the contest, how it starts, who starts the contest, who gives it to whom, what is the handover process?
Sergeant at Arms opens the contest,
Not
gives it
Kiran
to...
ma'am, not you, somebody else.
Okay.
Somebody from the new folks. I know you and Yogesh can say it any given day. The new people. And if they can't, then I'll come back to you, Kiran ma'am. Yeah, anyone who's played the role of a presiding officer maybe, or a contest chair, or contest master? Okay, no, I don't think anyone. Kiran ma'am, please go ahead.
Sergeant at Arms welcomes everyone and reads out the guideline, the parliamentarian rules, then hands over the to contest chair. Then the contest chair welcomes everyone and introduces the contest masters. If he or she himself is the contest master, then continues with the contest. Introduces the chief judge and the contest and the welcomes all and starts the contest with the contest guidelines reading out to them. And but before this, pre-briefing is there. Pre-briefing, contestant does the briefing of all the contestants and takes the by draw of lots the sequence of the people of the contestants, how they the sequence of contestants in their speech line. So here I have confusion, Pritesh. How do you do the draw of lots out here?
Yeah, so the draw of lots can be done in two ways. Right? One is so it may not necessarily be a draw of lots, to be honest. If you look at the contest rulebook also, it says it should be an unbiased method of having the contestant in order, right? So the unbiased method of having the contestant in order could also be that the contest chair and chief judge discuss amongst themselves and allocate a speaking order. That could be one, right? Other is there are a lot of online applications available for Lotto, right? Slot drawing. You can use any one of those applications, ask the speaker to choose, and you can put all the speakers together. You can say, okay, person number 1, here is your number. Person number 2, here is your number. There are a lot of online games available for Lotto, and you can use any one of those games, no problem. So that could be one way of doing the draw of lots. The other way of doing a draw of lots is you discuss with the chief judge and you decide a contest speaking order before, and you announce the speaking order to all the contestants. It has to be unbiased. That's the only thing. The way I think it will be unbiased is our first core principle is integrity. So even if the contest chair is doing it or the chief judge is doing it, it still will be unbiased, right? So this way, that way, you can choose any way. Now coming to the transition part of the meeting, Kiran ma'am, thank you so much. That was a perfect flow. There is just one thing. A lot of clubs consider contest as a meeting as well. And if the contest is being considered as a meeting in your club, then the presiding officer will open the meeting and the contest chair will open the contest. Right? So the sergeant at arms gives to the presiding officer. The presiding officer gives to the contest chair. If the contest is a special meeting, it is not considered as a regular meeting. In that case, the sergeant at arms can straight away give to the contest chair. The presiding officer has no role in it. The presiding officer may be the contest chair, that's a different thing. But the presiding officer, as a presiding officer, has no role in that meeting. Right? So this way, that way, whichever way your club does the contest, that will remain the same. The contest chair or contest master briefing, that 5 minutes of script that the contest chair or contest master reads, will remain the same. There is no change in it. And that has to be read out from a script. A lot of times, pardon me for saying this, a lot of times our veteran Toastmasters decide to do it impromptu rather than reading it from a script. And a lot of times they miss out on some very key briefings. So please make sure that your contest chair or contest master has the contest briefing script available. There has been a script which has been finalized by the Office of PQD. Yogesh can get it for all of you. I also have it in case you want to reach out to me directly. That is also okay. And it can be shared. Please use that script. Or if you have a script of your own which you have created and it has been vetted over the time, you can use that also. Any questions? Okay. Yeah, so thank you, Kiran ma'am. I think Yogesh has already shared it with you. Yes, Vivek.
Is it available in written form? Because, you know, to remember all this, the flow, it's always good to have these things in black and white. So
I'm
if
sorry,
it is available, that
your
would be
voice is
helpful.
very low, Vivek.
Hello?
Yeah.
I'm saying that is it available in black and white or something in written, so that, you know, these things, to remember these things, it's really tough at this moment. So it will be helpful if you share those documents with us.
What is available in black and white?
No,
The
I'm
flow of the
asking,
contest?
is it available, the flow of the meeting, is it
Yeah.
available in black and white?
Yes, it is available in black and white, and that is the contest rule book that I was talking about.
Oh.
The contest rule book has the flow of every contest. The contest rule book has detailed description of each and every role, what the timer does, what the chief judge does, what the judge does, what the contest chair does, what the contest master does, what is the difference between a contest master and a contest chair. Everything is written in the contest rule book. So my request is go through the contest rule book. It is available on the Toastmasters website. Just search Toastmasters contest rule book. You'll be able to find it.
Right.
And if there are still doubts beyond that, please reach out to Yogesh. He'll be able to help.
Rule book is shared with Seetal, Vivek. So
Okay.
if you want, you can get it.
I'll want it.
Right.
Right. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Now moving on. So contest master briefing, contest master will do the briefing and then the contest master will start the contest in the speaking order. Now, normally in ISE, we say people have the right to go out and prepare their speeches and come into the contest before, so n minus 1. So if your speaking order is 5th, you should be in the room before the 4th speaker is called out. In this kind of a meeting, I say, you know, it's better to just sit and listen to other people. You have gotten enough time to prepare your speech. Another 10-15 minutes of preparation is not going to make much of a difference. But if you feel that you can go out and want to come back, you need to make sure that you time yourself, because there is in the normal meeting, what happens is the Sergeant at Arms goes out of the room and says, hey, number 4, please come inside the room. Now, this is not possible in an online meeting. So you'll have to time yourself. If your speaking order is 3, that means you should join the meeting after 10 minutes. Sorry, after 7 minutes, max. Not beyond that. The tech master in international speech contest can allow people to join even when the contest has started.
Okay.
But in table topic contest, once the contest is started, the meeting room is closed and nobody else is allowed to join other than the contestants in their respective speaking order. Right? So just take a note of that in an international speech contest, people can come in and go out as per their will, but that is not allowed in table topics. Yes, Yogesh.
Pritish, I want to know, as you said, host and co-host. So I think these are options available in Zoom. But what about Take Master? This is also a special role with special powers.
So Techmaster is not a option on Zoom, Yogesh. It is our synonym for the host and the co-host.
Okay,
Uh,
okay.
so we like to add master behind everything. So
Okay,
we
means
decided,
host is the Tech Master who is
ah, right,
managing this technology, right?
right. So
Okay.
somebody in the district coined this term. It caught up. It is
Hmm.
not an official term.
Okay,
It has got nothing to do with Zoom. In Zoom, it is host and co-host only.
okay, that's
Right? Or for even if you're not using Zoom, you're using some other application. For that also, it is host and co-host. Right?
okay, clear.
Okay. So Techmaster is just the Toastmaster terminology. It is not related to Zoom. Um, all right, and that's a good point, Yogesh. It's good to have that clarification. Otherwise, people will start searching Techmaster. Where is Techmaster in the roles? Right. Okay. So moving on, your international speech contest has begun. People will come. People will give their speeches. People will sort of um, complete their speeches. Your speech comes to an end, and then there is 1 minute of silence for the judges to mark their ballots. Now there could be different ways. The official ballot form, which is available on Toastmasters website, is an editable PDF. So if you are the chief judge, you can send that itself to the judges saying you can do your marking here. Or you can request your judges to have a hard copy of the ballot printed out themselves. Although that is a little difficult right now, but have a hard copy of the ballot printed out themselves so that they can do the marking. Or you can use a Google form equivalent of the ballot to do the marking. But if you are using a Google form, please uncheck the option of collecting email IDs. Do not check it, because you are not supposed to collect those information from the judges. The name and signature, which is mandatory in this ballot, because this is an online meeting. If you have a digital signature, please put it. If you don't have a digital signature, you can request the chief judge and forgo it. But make sure you inform the chief judge that you don't have a digital signature and you cannot put it, right? So that is the balloting process. Again, the same process will follow. First speaker completes the speak. There is a 1 minute of silence. Judges marks their ballots. And then there is the next speaker and the third speaker and the fourth speaker. And then there is a 2 minute of silence. And then the chief judge will basically take all the ballots, collect all the ballots, 1, 2, 3 from the respective judges. The chief judge can do it over WhatsApp, over email, whatever way he wants it. He can collect those information. Please don't go on the meeting itself saying, oh, according to me, first person is this, second person is this, third person is this. Right? There are two challenges in it. Number one, you're losing out the anonymity of your ballot. Number two, you're declaring to everyone that you are the judge. So it has happened. It has happened once when somebody said, hi, I am a contestant, and the other person said, hi, I am a judge. Unluckily, the chief judge was standing right next to it, and the chief judge says, yes, now you're not. You're just a guest in the meeting. So these things happen. Try and avoid any, if you're a judge, try and avoid any conversation on the meeting itself. If you want to have some discussion, either call up the chief judge on the side or send him a WhatsApp message. A lot of chief judges these days are creating WhatsApp group for the judges so that they can coordinate between the judge during the online meeting. That is also doable. So if you are the chief judge, you have your set of judges, you can decide how you want to do it. If you are the judge, just follow what the chief judge is saying, but no conversation on the meeting, inside the meeting room, not even in the chats, because while you might think you're sending a private message to the chief judge, the host can read the transcript of all the chats. So not even on the chats. If you want to have a message conversation with the chief judge, do it on WhatsApp.
Please.
Yes.
I have a question here. As we usually do in club level contests, we do mock contests. So we do not invite judges and all the club members. They vote for means to decide who is going to winner and second and third. So in this case, what process do you suggest we should adopt for voting?
I'm sorry, Yogesh. I don't think I got your question right.
Okay, I am saying usually on club level we do mock contest where
Yes.
we do not have judges.
Mm-hmm.
So the club members they vote for winner and who is going to be second and third.
Mm-hmm.
So do you suggest any process to for these type of contest? This is a mock contest.
So two things. One, I would seriously discourage mock contest in this kind of environment, because uh, the the reason we do mock contest is because the chief judge either had a lot of backouts and was not able to arrange for the judges in the last minute, or the chief judge did not get judges because of too many contests happening in the same day at the same time. Right, so that is when the chief judge is forced to conduct a mock contest, and that is only at the club level. You're correct, it is not
Yes.
applicable or area level or anywhere above that.
I'm saying at club level only.
Yes, but in this kind of a forum, the reason I'll discourage is because this forum has actually opened the entire district for you now. So if you are the chief judge, you need not necessarily look for judges in Delhi NCR only. You can reach out to people in Guwahati, Dibrugarh, Bhubaneswar. Somebody somewhere will be free, right? And you would have a good set of judges. Given that, if even where if that has happened and you're still not able to find the judges and you want to do a mock contest, then you follow the same balloting process that you would have followed in the normal contest. So you don't have judges. What you do is you do first, second, third. So you create maybe a Google form and you ask all the members, you circulate that on the chat itself, and you ask all the members to put the first, second, third name according to their choices. Right? So that is still doable. That does not change. But if you ask me as a district officer, I would say no to mock contest in this kind of a forum. Right? Because we have the opportunity, let's do real contest. We do it because of physical challenges always. Right now, when we do not have physical challenges, let's at least try to do a real contest and let's see how it goes. Right? So that is about mock contest. Now, coming to the end of the meeting, the end of international speech, you'll have your chief judge, your contest master officially closing the contest, and then you start the table topic contest. So in table topic contest also, everything remains the same. The only thing that you need to do is you need to put people into the holding area. So can I request maybe three volunteers from this meeting who can be volunteers for table topics? Raise of hand, Khushbu, one. Okay. I would need two more. Don't worry, I'll not ask you to give a table topic speech. I'll just put you in the holding area to show people. Soumya, thank you. Vivek, Devinder. Okay. So what I'll do is I'll put you guys into the breakout room now. Devinder Jain, Khushbu, Soumya Das Gupta, and Vivek. You all have been invited to join the breakout area. Can you please join the breakout area? Holding room. Khushbu has already joined. Devinder has joined. Soumya Das Gupta has joined. Vivek Gupta has joined. Right. So this is how you will.
Can you show us, Pritish, how did you do that?
Yes. I'm just showing it. This is how you will see the screen then. So if you look at it, these people are in the meeting. The one that you are seeing right now, the one that is visible here on the screen for you. and these people are in the holding area. So these people cannot hear us, right? And you can have the sergeant at arms with them in the holding area, so that the sergeant at arms can monitor them. Clear? These people will not be visible to you in the meeting anymore. They have been put into the holding area. Now the next.
Okay, but please just just how you put it into holding area, from where this option is.
Okay. Who asked that question?
Yeah, how did you put these people in the holding area? Where is this option to put
the holding
people in
area?
holding?
Wait. I don't like people who ask too many questions.
But it will be one-sided question.
No, I'm just joking. I'm just joking.
And even one-side lectures.
No, I'm just joking. I'm just joking. I'll show it to you. So if you go here, so this is my room. Now Amit Jain has not been assigned to anywhere. So if I click here, it tells me to assign Amit Jain to the holding area. Right? Amit, is that clear?
Your screen is blank, which is reflecting.
We are not seeing.
Pritesh, it is showing your desktop, nothing else.
Okay, hold on. So till the time I do it, you can enjoy our desktop.
It's not been changed since March.
Yeah, you enjoy it every day. Other people are seeing it for the first time, na Sarika? Okay. So I will be able to show you a bit of it, but you'll be able to figure out. So the Tech Master basically, so Amit, you are clear about how you create the rooms and how you access the rooms, right?
How create the room means no holding area, na? I didn't come to know how you created it.
Okay, so if you are using a Zoom license, there is this meeting is recorded, so we touched upon it at the start. Maybe you did not join then, so you can go through it, so you'll understand how these rooms are created at the first place.
Okay.
And once these rooms are created, if you go to those breakout rooms, it will show you who all are in the holding area and who all are not in the holding area.
Okay.
Right. Now, when you click on any one of these people, here this is a screenshot, so obviously I'll not be able to click on it. But if you click on Amit Jain, this will extend, and there will be an option called Assign To, and in front of that there will be holding area. So if you click on Assign To Holding Area, Amit Jain will move from here to here.
Okay.
Right? And then you will not be able to listen to anything that is happening in this meeting.
Okay. Okay. Thanks, Pratish.
Yeah. Okay. I wish there was a way to show you what is going on in the holding area, but it is not. So what I'll do is how do I bring these people back?
Close the room.
I have closed the room, but we did not do it this way. I'll check on that and maybe send it across to.
Hi, Pritish.
Yeah, they're back.
You're back.
You're back.
Yes, back. We are back.
There was a way to do it one by one. Unfortunately, I'm not seeing it right now, but I'll check on it and I'll send it to Yogesh so that Yogesh can then further send it to everybody. There was actually a way to bring people back one by one.
Pritish, as we were there in the breakout room, can I ask one question? Sorry, I interrupted.
Yeah. Sorry. Yes, Omar, go ahead.
Yeah, so we were there in the breakout room and we were discussing, as all people do if they're in a breakout room. So one question which came to everyone's mind was
before we go there, I want to clarify this. Was anyone in this room able to hear what these people were discussing in the breakout room?
No.
Where Soumya, were you able to hear what we were discussing in this room?
No, we could not.
So absolute soundproof. Huh? You don't get these kind of soundproof in physical context.
No, it seemed like a different meeting altogether.
Yes.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I'm saying it is absolutely soundproof. You don't get these kind of soundproof in physical contest, barring the district contest.
True.
So Pritish, to bring these people back
let me
one.
get back to the question, Pritish.
Yeah, sorry, Yogesh, I'll come to you. Just give me a minute. Yes.
So the question was, we had the same question. If there is an internet problem, because most of us are using Wi-Fi connection, and power shutdown is quite frequent in this area. So the problem is, if somebody gets disconnected while he or she is a participant in the impromptu speech contest, then that might create some problem, because once a person goes out of that room, then automatically he will be a candidate of disqualification.
So subject to exceptions. If you look at the contest rule book, there's a wonderful clause that we have created in Toastmaster. It's called as far as practicable. So what you're telling is beyond a practicability scenario, Soumya. If your internet gets disconnected, that's not your fault, right? So in that case, what I would suggest is let the contest chair know that this is what happened and seek an exception from the contest chair, and the contest chair should give you an exception because it is not your fault. It is not the contestant's fault. If you leave out of your own will, then you are disqualified. This was not out of your own will. This is something which was forced to you.
Yeah, just to add a little bit of more spice to it. I mean, if somebody has a malified intention to deliberately go out and showcase it as a inadvertent move that it went out due to the internet disconnection. So how to manage that? Because that contest master or the contest chair would not be able to make out the difference between inadvertent and deliberate move.
I would like to reiterate the first core principle of Toastmasters is integrity. And we would like to believe that you are not having any malified intentions.
Can I add one thing, Pritish, on this?
Please go ahead.
Soumya, what happens if you leave intentionally? There's a message that gets popped up on everyone's screen that this person has left. But when there's a disconnection from the network, nobody will be notified on that. So in case if it's a human error or a human touch that happened, then it gives you that pop-up. But when it's a technical issue, then there are different errors.
That is not. I can ask someone to switch off my modem. You will not be able to make out.
Yeah, in that case, obviously yes. Then the person has to be thinking that way.
If I want to cheat, I can devise 1,000 ways of cheating.
Yes.
Which is not possible in a physical setup. But in online, that gives that leeway is there. I mean, if somebody wants to, then I think they can make out that.
What if I tell you that it was possible in the physical setup before this year? And what if I tell you that there have been situations where table topics have been leaked out to contestants in a physical meeting, in a physical contest? There is a reason why we came up with the rule that no one is allowed to enter or exit once the contest has begun. This rule was not there a few years back.
Right.
The rule has came up because such instances came to the notice, and this rule has came up on the basis of that people. It's as simple as that, right? I'll write it on the paper. I'll tell the contest chair I'm going to drink water and throw it into the contestant's room. Only the other person who had that understanding with me will know that there is a paper in the room.
No, but the point which I am trying to drive home is that because we could foresee those challenges which may arise because of fraudulent activities, we took proper steps and isolated the participants away in a different place with the sergeant at arms always having a constant vigilance over them. But in this particular scenario, we have foreseen this problem, but we are not able to take any proper measures around it, right?
So that is what I'm saying. There are at this given point in time, we are hands tied. There is a reason why we did not have online meetings before, or online, at least online contests before. We had online meetings for a very long time, but we never had online contests. But in the given situation, we'll also have to understand the fact that doing a physical contest is not possible. And that is why Toastmasters came up with the idea that if you want to do a contest, you can do it online. However, they have also given this directive to the districts, and then district has given it to the respective district officers, that if you want to skip the contest altogether, you can still skip it. Right? And at a club level, it is the discretion of the president and the VP education. It is not even the discretion of the area director. If your club feels that there might be such challenges and we don't want to get involved in this and we don't want to do a tabletop, it's fair. That's your choice. You may not do the contest at the first place. But if you're doing it, the only thing I'll tell you is at this point in time, there are genuine challenges, yes. And we just have to go at certain points, we'll just have to go with that idea that people do not have an intention to cheat. Right? Whatever happened because of a genuine failure. And no one is doing things purely out of intention.
Right. Okay. Got it.
And remember, club level is just one level. If you have an intention to cheat, you'll be caught somewhere.
Yeah, that's what we could not find a solution to that question. That's why we were trying to get the answer from you. If you have faced similar situations in the past, and you can help us get the guidance. So, but
so to be honest,
as we understand, you also don't have the answer to that.
Yeah, to be honest, I don't have an answer. I don't have an answer. And this question was also asked in the district trainings that we were having, and even the PQD did not have an answer. So we all have to come back and say that our hands are tied. There's nothing.
Few challenges we have to live up with.
Few challenges you'll have to live with, given the situation. Yes. Yeah, Yogesh, you had a question. Sorry.
No, I just clearing that this is first time, as you already said. So we do not know so many new challenges regard as he was discussing. We do not have any answer. I was saying just same thing. I was repeating.
Right. So one of the ways, and this is one question which came to my head when I was thinking about this, is there is a method to unlock a pop-up in your phone when a WhatsApp message comes, right? So you don't have to touch your phone. It will still show you on the screen. There's a method to do that. And you have already discussed with somebody in the audience saying, once the topic is announced, let me know on WhatsApp. Your hands are still here, right? You cannot stop this from happening. Right? The sergeant at arms can only see this, right? I did not touch my phone. I still know the topic. So there are practical challenges, right?
Yeah, and the phone would open with the biometrics.
That's what I'm saying. I did not touch my phone, right? But I still know the topic. This is the topic. So the idea is we are coming to this point that people don't want to do this. People should not do this. But yes, our hands are tied. We cannot have an absolute 100% secure contest as we used to have in the physical infrastructure. Not that those were 100% secure. There have been leaks and lacunas in those contests also, but they were at least to a certain level secured. And here we are opening ourselves to more vulnerabilities, but we'll have to live with it. Right? Okay. Any other questions? I think there is one. How do you manage people coming in and going out of the room? That I'll check and get back to you. That's on me. Allow me time till tomorrow. You'll all have an answer tomorrow.
So this is just one more question. Maybe you might be discussing that in the future part of the meeting, but I am trying to preempt that. Many of the contestants were asking, what is the best way of delivering a speech? Can we be seated in our places and then speak out? Or is it required to show the stage movement as it goes with the physical contests?
It depends on what your speech is, right? If we are all aware of the situation. So if you are creating a speech which needs a lot of hand movement, body movement, actions, dramatics, you'll have to figure out a way to show that in the small aperture of the web camera. If you are not doing that, the best suggestion there is don't create a speech which involves dramatics. Create a speech which is more content driven rather than action driven, right? So that you can still sit in one place and still give the speech. I have been taking this training for almost an hour now and I have not moved from my place. So it is possible. It's just that it has to be content driven rather than action driven. And unfortunately, over the last few years, international speeches have become action driven. But if you look at the history of speeches, the greatest speech that you will ever hear in your life is probably the State of the Union address by the President of the United States. Very, very powerful. But if you look at all those State of the Union addresses, you realize that none of them are action driven. The president never leaves the podium. He stands on the podium and delivers a 2 hours address.
Yeah, Pritesh,
completely content driven.
Right. The reason why we are asking this is that there has been a traditional way how the judges have been evaluating the contestants. And we have been almost trained that you have to look for different features. For example, you have to look at the body movement, your stage movement, etc., etc. So with that kind of, luggage or baggage which they're carrying with them. So how difficult or easy will be for the judges to, put down that baggage of evaluating based on these features and not be unbiased, because there may be two participants. One may have a very content-rich speech who is giving it seated, while the other may have a little less on the content, but he is using the stage movement. So with the kind of bias the judges might have had, so will they be told explicitly not to be evaluating based on the stage movement?
Okay, so I'll break my answer into two parts. One, when you say body language, if you look at the judges' ballot for international speech contest, when you say body language involves gestures, postures, facial expressions, and other body languages. Out of those four, gestures you can still do, facial expression you can still have. Challenge you will be with postures and stage movement. So now body language is approximately 15 marks. Right? So I'm saying approximately 3 marks per parameter. And then out of that, gesture and posture is 336 points. So you still have 50%. The other 50% is where the challenge is. Right? So the judges will not be asked explicitly not to judge people on stage movement, because people might still have stage movements.
Right.
But if you look at the overall ballot is designed in such a way that one particular parameter does not put one contestant over the other. It is the overall speech which puts one contestant over the other. Right? So if a particular contestant has less action, less stage movement, less gestures, he would make up those 6 marks in the content part. And content part is approximately 40 marks.
Provided the other contestant is not equally good in the content.
Yeah, so then that's a genuine, right? Then if the other contestant is equally good with content, if the other contestant is equally good with content and has additional postures and gestures, then that's a genuine situation.
Right.
And then he genuinely deserves to win. Right.
Okay.
So that would have happened in the normal contest also. There is no difference in it. You might have had a very good speech which is content driven. I have a speech which is content driven and also has body language. So I'll obviously score more marks than you, irrespective of what the platform of the contest is, whether it is physical or online. Right? But
so the stage movement is preferred to if somebody is having stage movement, the speech is preferred over the others. If
it is preferred. You're asking from a judge's point of view?
Yeah, from the judge's point of view.
No. There's no such thing as preference. I just look at the speech overall and I decide whether it is good or bad. It's as simple as that. No, so in fact, not bad. How good it is, to be honest. There's no such thing called I have a preference that there should be a stage moment. I don't have anything.
As in terms of the ballot sheet, I mean, if there is a separate qualifier for that,
it's very well balanced. It's very well balanced. It is not, you're not putting 50 marks for stage movement, right? We're saying stage movement 5 marks. You have it, you get 5 marks. You don't have it, you get 0. But that 0 you can make up another 5 marks.
Here I would like to add one practical point. In our past meetings, I observed that the bandwidth may not be good in all the people, good for all the people. So if they're standing and moving about, there is audio and video lag. and people who were able to sit and directly speak over the laptop or the mobile, their audio and video was much more clarity. We could see the facial expressions and hand gestures or whatever, like, the speakers were doing. Whereas the people who were standing, they were tend to go out of the video camera coverage also. So that was what I observed.
So please note that your stage area in this case is the aperture of your camera.
Yes.
Yeah, but if you move this screen a little distant away, then a bigger section of your torso can be shown.
That's what I'm saying.
Yes.
If you are designing your speech that way, then you'll have to work out those aspects also. Where you put your laptop, how much distance you will be from the laptop, so that you can make sure you're completely visible. You have to work out those areas. So this is
dependent
part
on
of your prepared speeches.
Yeah. If you're dependent
this
on,
time will be sitting and talking. It will not be gesture.
It will not be a free-flowing democratic economy, because the person who can afford a better bandwidth will have an edge.
But if you have a computer audio, then you may not be able to communicate. Your clarity will not be there. Whereas if you use a Bluetooth speaker or something like that, your audio and voice clarity will be much better when you're communicating. So that you need to
all goes
into divide between the haves and the have-nots.
No one will give you the haves and have-nots on there. You'll have to create your own haves and have-nots. Right? But yeah, generally.
Thanks, Pritesh. This answers my question to some extent. Yeah. Thank you so much.
Right. Thank you so much. But yeah, generally, given the situation and given the way we are conducting our content-driven speeches, this time will have an edge over action-driven speeches. That's my perception. I may be wrong, but if I am a judge, I would probably look at it that way. Okay. Any other questions that we have? Okay. Any thoughts, comments? Anyone has any other challenges that they see?
Okay. As Grano has a subscription, we can share the subscription with other Toastmasters clubs for their contests. So that is no problem with that with us. So, but one clarification, Pritesh, how do we share the subscription?
You don't share the subscription. So pretty much the same way how we did it today.
Okay,
you have
host.
To join the meeting and then make someone the host, and then you can leave.
Okay, all right.
I mean, you may leave. If you want to attend the contest, you can also attend the contest.
Yes, okay.
All right. So that is how you do it. The district has come up with an idea of booking the meeting rooms, because we are a larger set of people. We are 180 people. So everyone trying to call up Nimish and asking for a slot, his life is going to become hell. So we have come up with a plan of a simple form where we book our rooms. But for you, since it is just 3-4 clubs, you don't have to do that much activity. You can talk over WhatsApp, join the meeting, make the person host, and then leave.
Pritesh, I discussed with Nimesh, and he is saying that the Zoom licenses district has purchased, they do not have breakout rooms option. If we book from there, then we cannot do this table topic contest. For meetings, we can book, he told me.
So in that case, no, you can still do it for the table topics, but you'll have to ask people to disconnect and then connect. And then somebody will, the host has to allow them as per the speaking order.
No, this breakout rooms option is available in paid licenses only.
Yeah, so district has breakout rooms.
But Nimish told me that for table topics, that will not work.
Okay.
I discussed last time in the last training session when I asked him that can we book this for contest as well, club contest. Then he replied that for club contest, table topic contest, it will not work. For international speeches, it can. He replied.
Okay. I was not aware of that, so let me.
I asked him.
Yeah, let me talk to Nimish, or if you have already spoken. But anyhow, I mean, right now a lot of community clubs have their own licenses. For people who are from corporates, you need not have a Zoom license. You can do it on Teams as well, or whatever your internal collaboration tool is. Right? You can do it there also. It's not necessary that there's no mandation that it has to be on Zoom. It has to be an online platform. Could be any online platform. So that is one. community clubs have procured licenses. Just 100, I think, 1,100 rupees per month license. Not costly.
1,200.
1,500.
1,500. Yeah, that's what I was told. So if the club has budget, I would say go ahead, procure a license because you will need it for your online meetings also. If the club doesn't have budget, reach out to the area director. There are a lot of corporate clubs who have procured the licenses. They are happy to give it to other clubs, help other clubs. Shahid has been doing it from TM Modi. Shweta is doing it from Indrapuram. Kiran has already spoken about Greno. So these are the 3 clubs that I know. And I think Noida is also having a paid license, so we can talk to Noida also if needed. So we have a lot of paid licenses, nothing to worry. Just make sure that you plan things. Don't come up on a Friday evening saying we want to do a contest on Saturday. That is difficult for everybody. So just make sure that you have a proper plan, give a 1 week, 10 days time to it, and everything can be arranged. Yeah, Khushbu, you want to say something?
Yes.
Yeah, please go ahead.
So I would like to discuss one of the practical aspects that we've experienced so far. In most of the speeches that we deliver, when we are delivering a speech on stage, we are not able to see the timing and the timer. I mean, so despite we knowing that the timer is keeping a track of the time, either we are not able to watch him or his screen. I mean, it's very ambiguous most of the times. So how do we do a demo of it?
That's why I took that idea of spotlighting the timer for 10-15 seconds.
Can I add?
Yeah,
Pritish?
please.
Yeah, there is an option called pin video. When you are about to start to speak, you can pin video of the timer, so that screen will be always on. I mean, visible to you. Yeah.
If that can be done, that will be amazing. Can that be done with the licensed version or even with a non-licensed version of Zoom?
No, it can be done. It can be done on the non-licenses one also.
Non-licenses.
It's available on both sides. So you get the option. You get a triple dot on the top of the video. You click there, you'll see an option to pin video. And when you pin it,
Soumya, are you aware of this option so that we can internally?
You can try right now, Khushbu. You go to anyone's video, and you will see 3 dots over there.
I know this option.
Vivek.
I know. Just right click on that.
Even I tried the same option when I was attending a meeting. So it would be a great help, Khushbu. There is no worry. You can pin the video of any person which is timer. So that would be more easier. And the screen, yeah, so there is no problem as such.
All right, I'll try that out then. Thank you.
You just try right now also. You just pin any one of.
Hold on, let me see if I can show it to you.
Do I click on the more part?
Yes.
Yeah.
Next.
Not more part. You go to any video, anyone's video you want to see.
So for example, your video is in front of me. Then what do I do?
Then there are 3 dots.
3 dots.
If you take
it's
your
available.
Cursor, if you take your cursor to any video, there are 3 dots. You click on it. You will see a few options: mute my audio, start video, and rename.
Khushbu, just go to the ones where the video is visible. For the ones who have not shared their videos, they will not get that option.
Oh, okay. So I am at your video then, Soumya.
You can try mine.
Yes, I'm trying yours.
Okay, yes, there are 2 options: chat and pin video.
No, I think I'll connect separately with Soumya.
Maybe you have to switch on your video first I'm not sure.
No issue. You call me on.
You don't do your own video. It will not work on your own video.
You can call me
Try someone
anytime
else.
on
Now
night,
you can
on
try.
dinner.
Now
I will
try.
help you.
Because you have switched your video on. Now you can try once.
I'm also not able to see this pin video option.
Yes,
No.
I am also
on laptops it is available. Mobiles and MacBooks, I'm not sure.
Okay.
Okay, maybe that is the thing.
I'm trying on mobile.
Okay.
Okay. Next.
Ritish.
Go ahead, please.
Anyways, let me not waste.
Khushbu, I have tried just now. Khushbu, are you listening to me? I have tried just
Yes,
now
yes.
with my mobile phone. It is working, and you just double tap. First, you select the person who you wants to pin the video, and then double tap on your mobile screen. With just double tapping, you will be having that pin automatically. And then again, when you deselect, you want to unpin that, you again double tap on it. Just try once, double tapping.
Okay, yes. Done.
I'm sorry, there's somebody else who was
I
trying to
have
reach
just
out
pinned
to
you,
me.
Khushbu. Right now you are pinned on my screen, so it is easy, very easy.
Yes, it's being done. Thank you so much. I've got it now. So I think once it's pinned, it will not move, right?
Yes, it will be on your screen.
Okay, I've got it. Thank you so much, everybody. Thank you.
Okay.
It's done.
All right. If we have any other questions, we can take it now. I think we have another 5 minutes left. Any questions, anyone?
Now prepare for the speeches and the table topics.
Yes, please go ahead, prepare for the speeches, prepare for the contest. Please do invite me into your contest. My number is available with Yogesh, Kiran ma'am and Shweta.
Rest the responsibility lies on the contest chair to find the role players.
Yes, don't make me the contest chair. I'll just come as a guest. I'm not open to that role right now.
Chief Judge? Can we make it
Chief Judge? We can think, yes.
Okay. So let's discuss offline.
Sure. Right. So all the best, guys. Hoping to see all the clubs conducting their contest soon. Please feel free to let me know when your contest is. If I'm available, I'll certainly join. But any which way, all the very best. I hope I was able to do justice to the training. Any other questions, queries, please reach out to Yogesh. He is your first point of contact. If it is not getting solved, Yogesh has all the resources in the district available to him to help him out. So please reach out to Yogesh for any questions that you might have in how to do this, how to go about it. Specifically, if you want to collaborate with other clubs and don't want to or don't have the funds to invest into a license right now, Yogesh can help you either do it on the district subscription or through Greno subscription. If Greno subscription is not available, please let me know. I have 2 clubs who have purchased Zoom licenses, and I'll be happy to help you in getting a slot in one of those licenses. So I'm available, but I'll be a secondary. The first point of contact should be Yogesh. And if Yogesh doesn't have the resources to help, then you can reach out to me. I can try my best. But this way, that way, I've said this in a lot of meetings. The spirit of Toastmasters is we shall meet come what may. And this COVID should not stop us from having our contest. This COVID should not stop us from enjoying our contest. This COVID should not stop us from letting the best person win the contest. So My sincere suggestion, please start planning your contests. Otherwise, this entire training will be worthless. Right? So
thanks a lot, Pratish. Thank you so much.
Not for my and Yogesh's time, at least for your time that you have invested in this meeting. Please plan for the contest.
Thank you, Pritish. Thank you very much. Now we will have our contest with more clarity. And anybody want to say? Kiran, you wanted to say something?
Yeah, thanks, Pritesh, a lot. I mean, this has been really helpful. A lot of points have been clarified right now. And as always, Greno is most welcome. Welcomes you anytime.
Yeah, as soon as the lockdown gets over, man, I'll be back.
Yes. Yeah.
Pritish, how we will get this recording of this session?
I will send it across to you, Yogesh.
Okay. So
I'll probably
thank you
put it on
again.
a OneDrive or something and send it across to you.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. Thank you once again. So all the best, guys, for your contest.